Since a check is a legal document, it is important to write the check following a legal format. A check that is incorrectly written will not be accepted by a bank. In the next several slides, you will learn about the different parts of a check. On your notes, not only fill in the check as we move through it, but also make notes about the entry. Personal information about the checking account owner is in the upper left-hand corner of the check. The funds will come out of that person's account or the business account. If you need to contact the check writer, you'll find some information here. Sometimes a phone number appears, but not always. It's also possible that you'll find handwritten personal information in this area, such as a phone number or a driver's license number. In this example, there are two account holders, Joe and Sarah. Either one of them can sign the check. The payee line has the name of the person or company the check is written to, or who will receive the funds. It should include the name of a person or business that is authorized to deposit the check or cash it. Should you misspell the payee name, that individual will not be able to cash or deposit the check. Again, the check is a legal document written specifically for one payee. Sometimes the check may be payable to cash, which means that pretty much anybody can cash or deposit the check. The dollar value of the check is written in two places. The dollar box is the unofficial of how much the check is for. The check amount is written using numbers so that people can quickly glance and read how much the check is for. The amount of the check is the official, as in the legal amount of the check. This section, written out using words, is what the payee is legally entitled to. If there is a discrepancy between the dollar box and the amount of the check, the bank has the right to refuse to accept the check. The bank name and contact information tells you which bank or credit union the funds will come from. It is the bank where the check writer has a checking account. If you do not have a personal checking account and you want to cash the check, you'll need to visit that bank or the local branch. The memo line is space for any additional information the check writer wants to include about the check. It might explain what the payment is for or include reference information such as an account number. The date should be when the check was written, and in most cases, that's exactly what you'll find. Remembering that a check is a legal document, the date indicates when it can be cashed or deposited. Some people post-date the check by putting a future date. You, as the payee, won't be able to cash or deposit the check until that date. If the check is post-dated, there's probably a reason for that, so it's a good idea to communicate with the check writer. In most cases, you should not accept a check that is post-dated. Ask yourself this question. If the check writer doesn't have money in the account today, what's the probability that the account will have money in the future? It's also important to verify that the check is not too old. Checks expire. Typically, a check won't be accepted by the bank after 6 months. Some checks are void after 90 days. You should make it a habit to deposit checks immediately upon receipt. For the check to be valid, it must be signed by an account holder, those individuals who are listed on the personal information. If there is no signature or the signature clearly does not match the personal information, contact the check writer. You may have problems cashing or depositing the check. If you use telephone payment from your account, the check signature will be a message indicating no signature required. The check number indicates which check is written from your account. Most checks begin with the number 100 and then increase as you write more checks. Some people prefer to start their check numbers with 200 so that the account appears to be older. This check number will become important when you enter it to your check register. The account number is the number of your account. Individuals often have several accounts with one bank, so this number is important. Also, when you deposit checks to your account, you'll want to write which account the deposit is for. The last set of numbers are not used often by individuals but are used at the bank level. These are called the ABA number and are unique numbers for your bank. Individuals wishing to transfer money from one bank to another will need to include the ABA number.